Greetings and welcome back to smartwatchtics.com, and hi to all of you guys who love to come by and take a look at new Android smartwatches when they come on the market. After all, that's how we started this channel. Got a really interesting crossover one for you today from DTNo.1. You remember those guys? They were around way back when Now and DTNo.1, then called Number One, were fighting it out for creating the best Android smartwatches. Well, DTNo.1's got a crossover device. What do I mean by that? I'll tell you in a second. Once I mention, you can get it directly from the DTNo.1 store. Here's a picture of their site at $80 with a 15% coupon available right now. Check the show notes and apply that when you check out, and you can pick it up. The twist on this one, guys, is that unlike almost all the Android watches that we've had in the past, this one does not require a SIM card for calling. That's right. All of the others have been standalone smartwatches, right? Which means they had their own SIM, their own phone number, their own cell plan, separate from your phone, just like if you were carrying two phones with you. This bridge crossover watch allows you to make Bluetooth calling through your phone SIM, just like a standard Bluetooth calling watch would do, and fully work as an Android smartwatch with 16 gigabytes of ROM, full-on Wi-Fi. And of course you can do Wi-Fi calling and video calls and all kinds of things, Zoom and, I don't know, messaging and you name it. GPS in this one as well. Google Play support. Download any Android watches you want with a full AMOLED screen on it too. Nice. Very, very nice. And we're getting ready to go deep into it with you here. So the DT Ultra 2 is a little bit of a discussion about it. 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of ROM. Could be a little beefier. I'm hoping they'll put out a little stronger model than that. 2 gigabytes is kind of low for today's technology, but it does work. Works all right. A little bit sluggish sometimes. This is the Wi-Fi version and Bluetooth version. You cannot insert a SIM card. You've got Android, Bluetooth, dual system in that. These are a lot of the functions that are in it, and you'll see those. By the way, it mentions ChatGPT, but that's actually a link to your phone where you select which service you want, Google or whatever. You know, typically it responds to Google. So it has some flexibility there. If you want to assign it to ChatGPT, you can, but you got to put that in your phone in order for it to work. As far as I can tell, it's not standalone in the watch directly. App languages are in here. The device support languages are listed here. And your manual language, that's just your basic, is Chinese and English. It uses Wearpro. We've reviewed that app a lot, and it's come along. It's even more advanced since what you've seen before. 2 gig, 16 gig, we mentioned that. We're at Bluetooth 5.3 for our Bluetooth calling support. It does have a compass in it, and it works really well. It claims IP67 Life waterproof. I wouldn't go swimming with this one. I don't think it's hardened to that level. However, it does have the ability to add that little thing where you can vibrate to get water out of the speaker. Yeah, so if you guys do swim with it or take it into water and it survives, or if it doesn't, let us know, okay? I'm just very curious. I'm not going to do it. 2.1-inch AMOLED screen with 420 by 485 resolution, full color screen. More information on it. Here we go. It claims an 880 milliamp hour battery, but the guys over at fullandroidwatch.org have been really dissecting this watch, and it's less than that, basically. Your battery life is not outstanding on this one, and it's got a few little glitches that are still being worked out in the firmware to get it to work right. But in the meantime, it does function for you. Just plan on recharging it as frequently as you do an Apple Watch, or even possibly more so. It's got a new 4-pin magnetic charger on it. You'll see that one too. That's been a change that's come about from the first version of it to the Ultra 2 version, and certifications and so forth. And again, some countries may not be able to use certain functions due to different restrictions. That's out of control of these guys that produce it. Here we are in the box. We've got a little manual we'll look at. The module is right here. And lo and behold, oh my gosh, it looks yet again like an Apple Ultra. One of the things I'm looking forward to is the day that the manufacturers get tired of this design and give us something else. I really feel like I'm unboxing Apple Ultra 17 or something like that, where it's exactly the same design over and over again. There's so many amazing possible designs, round ones, square ones, triangular ones, you name it, but they always like to stick with this. So here we are in an Ultra case with yet a different operating system. Now, one thing I want to point out, very important, because this uses this charger, which is a 4-pin dock, and yes, 4 pins, it means 2 of them are for power and 2 of them are for data transfer. So you can slap it on, connect it to your computer, and transfer data back and forth. Things that you've recorded on your watch out, and things you want to put on here, music, videos, apps, APKs for apps that you can install, can all be transferred. If you take off the little plastic cover that's almost invisible. Now you can see some bubbles in here, but when you get it, it's clean and like this whole edge out here. And you really want to take this thing off, because if you don't, you won't be able to get those pins to connect, and you'll think you've got yourself a broken watch that won't charge. Once the power has drained out, it won't work for you. Simple little fix to that saves you trying to send the watch back. There, half of you now are going to be happy and not disappointed that the watch isn't working for you. Now, in the charging dock, again, 4 pins with a USB connector, and it's coming to us with 2 different bands. This one I absolutely love. They got fancy names. I forget them all. They slide in, the Apple Connect style, and then this one wraps around and it hooks into these, you'll see it hooks into here. And so it's easy to take on and off. And then you've got this rubberized one here. This is in a gray, that's in a black, obviously. Same kind of connection. And then this, of course, slides over and connects in that way. They're both easy on-off type of bands, and so we'll play with these. Then you got the manual and a quick run through of this. Nice. They're getting more creative. Look at, oops, Chinese. Are we on English on the other side? I guess further on into it. Let's see. Chinese. And there we go. Looks like we start English over here. It's this 2-language manual with nice color picture on it, basically to get you started. There's a couple of important things you want to do with these watches. Wow, that's nice. You got the side button, rotating crown, microphone. There's the nice horn hole, otherwise known as a speaker. The operating button. Oh, wait till you see how I got that thing programmed, guys. It's going to make this thing so smooth. Wearpro, the app that you're going to connect with, and then, of course, connecting up with Wi-Fi, which you can either do in the watch by itself, standalone, or through the app if you have a crazy password that's hard to type on a keyboard. Kind reminder, some information for you. I'll hold this here so you can freeze frame it and read it later if you'd like. And some basic talking about what it does in some of its operation. And then warranty information, updating firmware, and another pretty picture on the back cover. Let's put it together and play with it. Here it is with the gray band on, and it's simple to just put it over, wrap it around, snap it in where you want it, and then slide this into the hole that's remaining, and you've got yourself a very attractive Apple Ultra 2 looking watch, right? Now you got 3 different buttons on here. This is programmable. This rotating crown will get you into all of your apps and other stuff, and the bottom button gets you to the quick menus. It also is your power button. So you press and hold it for a moment, give it a little bit to come up. It'll say hello, tell you Wearpro is what you're going to be pairing with, and after the boot up process, you'll have access to all your different watch faces, apps, and everything else. It's a little long on the boot up. There we go, the Wearpro logo. They're really hyping that, as that's the definite addition that makes this watch so functional, because you really need it to pair with your phone to do everything, including transferring all your health data, your workout data, all of that stuff. Watch is starting up. Again, it's an Android watch, so it has a longer boot time than you find in a typical watch. We're almost there. There we go. I'm connected because I already have had it connected. And we're going to say OK and let it pair on up to the watch, which you can't see, but in the background it's connecting over there. And now we boot up some more. And there we go. We're in our first stock watch face, which, by the way, has a compass in it. I don't know if you can tell right there. There's a little compass. And as you move around, you'll see it changing. We'll play with that in more detail. In fact, at this point, I'll take it off so we can have a little more flexibility to use it. There you go. Now you can see there's pointing to north and so forth. It's on a short timeout. You touch it, you can change the colors it looks like. Lots of things. We'll go into all of that. When you swipe down now, you get notifications sent from your phone, if you have any. When you swipe up, you get this panel that's got a lot of fun stuff. We'll go over that. For right now, you go over to the right, and you're getting all of your cards, windows going in a circle here. This is your forecast, temperature, and information that way. When you go this way, you're getting into all of your biometrics, like your step count and those kind of things. When you tap the bottom button, this, he says, it just takes it a little while to think. That's what I'm talking about. I hope we get something with more RAM in it at least. You get all of these different controls. That's your Wi-Fi on-off, GPS on-off. That's your Bluetooth connection. Not sure what that one is. Kind of cute, though. It looks like it's Android. I believe that's where you switch from Android to the Bluetooth power-saving setup. Your percentage power, and when you tap on that, it'll show you your overall battery level. I guess that's about it. This is where you get into your different ways of displaying all your cards when you go around. We're in the basic flip style, which is typical for most watches. This gets you into your overall settings, your general stuff, basic. We'll go into some of that later. Here's for pairing Bluetooth speakers if you want to. This is getting into your connection again for pairing Bluetooth with the app. And we already are. It says to disconnect and reconnect it. SOS if you need that, paired with your phone, because it has the SIM card to make the phone calls. You can do that. These are things you can add, and I already have. You've got an nice flashlight in here, nice bright flashlight. And with an AMOLED screen, you get that high contrast differential. This is where you can trigger your ChatGPT, or if you program it through your phone to talk with Google or Alexa or whatever one you want, you'll be able to do that there. This is for setting up some alarms, an alarm clock addition on there. And this is overall brightness control, which I have modified through this side button. I'll show you in just a second, but you can actually change the brightness as low as almost invisible all the way up to 100% if you want to. And it's easy to get to if you add it to the screen. You hit this edit and you can see you can take any of those things away, or you can add any of these things here. Here's that water drop that'll vibrate to get water out of your speaker if you swim with it. This is control of your audio. You can lock screen it. Not sure what that one does. I think it changes the font size, possibly. And you can take some of these away if you want to as well. So those are all the different controls you get to simply by pushing this bottom button. When you double tap it, nothing happens. Top button. When you tap it, you get into all of your apps and go back and forth. When you double tap it, you get all of the apps that you've had open and you've been looking at and using, and you can clear them individually or clear them all like that. When you tap and hold the top button, now you're in your ChatGPT, and I don't know if you could hear, the phone just lit up, but it's actually giving me Google information, which when I stop talking, it's going to say, "What in the world do you want? You talk too much. What time is it?"
It's 12:30 p.m.
Could you hear that? It gave me the time. It didn't work the first time, so I just redid it again. And then it pops you back out of here. That's the long press on this one, long press on this one. Get you all of these things. You can evoke a siren or make an SOS emergency call, reboot, or shut down. So we've covered all of the things you can do with these. Now the fun begins. On this side button, which is programmable in the settings, I've put in a thing called Optimize Drawer. Optimize Drawer is basically similar to here when you have all of your apps, but notice they're not in any logical order. They're not alphabetical. The biometrics are mixed with different things. There's music halfway through. Settings are at the bottom. The Play Store and all these other things that you add are stuck in there whichever way you added them. When you run Organized Drawer, it automatically puts them alphabetical order, so it's really easy to find things like display brightness. That's a third-party app, no longer in the Google Play Store, but you see the little green line that showed up there? Once I open it, I can leave it, and now, no matter what screen I'm on, I've got a brightness control slider right here, and I can take it up to brighter than the watch will normally get bright at a full, true 100%. Or even lower than that. I set this to be the lowest because if it went below that, I wouldn't even be able to see the screen. Anyway, display brightness, you can get that one. I've got it available to side load into the watches through a Google Drive, and I have the link in the show notes to get to all these fun extra third-party apps that you can add in there. But I try to put that one on. Why did I have to incorporate it into Organized Drawer on the side and have it available there? Because unfortunately, the watch often shuts off things that should be running in the background, and the team at Full Android Watch, me, and others haven't really found a good workaround on that. So for me, I can get this display brightness thing easily back again by doing a quick press tap, and it automatically activates it. It's a little bit of a delay, but it works. That is not stock with this watch. That's a little tidbit for you that you can add easily on your own. Organized Drawer is available in the Google Play Store to download. So we've covered all these different directions and all the things that are there. Go further in here, you see you have the clock in analog and the date right away. You've got weather, heart rate, step count, last night's sleep time, and a bunch of other apps that it recommends if you want to use those. Or you can hit all apps, and that, of course, will take you over to the same thing you'd get to if you pressed over here. And, of course, you can twirl to get through all of those. So that's kind of what that's about, is a one-stop quick look at all of these different features when you swipe up. You ready to go through all of these things? Here is fitness. Now, it doesn't show you anything else unless you tap it in the middle, he says, and now you get the same picture, a little smaller, but you get all of the background of your step count information. Here's the calories burned, it looks like, step count. It's just started over at noon, I'm not sure, no, midnight to 6 a.m. to noon to the end, and then that's at the end of the day. So it's showing you the daily step count information on here, which is 1608. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the bars. Earlier I did see bars on there. Slap to the left and you're out of that. Again, it won't move. But if you want to start an activity quickly and you're on your watch face, you come over, you tap that button, he says, come on, and you get into all of your different fitness things, running, walking, things like walking, cycling, and running that can use GPS. You can get a GPS track, of course, if GPS turned on. The other activities are just basic stuff that you've got. So you're getting an integration here too. Most Android phones, and therefore Android watches, don't have much depth on this stuff. You have to install third-party apps. But we're getting biometrics like your heart rate and blood oxygen. You'll see all of that stuff. You say start measure. Make sure that the diodes are covered here with your finger or on your wrist, of course, and it'll take a moment and compute what your heart rate is. It'll set on that for a little while, and then it'll eventually hone in and lock in after everything stops vibrating on a final number. Pretty good size white digits against black, so readable outdoors if you have the brightness up on your AMOLED screen. And you get the basic information for your heart rate. I'm just going to keep moving. From here, okay, we go back, and now we can switch over to blood oxygen, which when you start that measurement, he says, you got to have your finger on it, uses the red diode technology for higher accuracy. And that, of course, will continue and give you a reading eventually. You've got a play music, going to come back to that. You've got breath training, your inhale and exhale process, if you want to do that work. Then you're into your temperature information and back to your watch face. You see how they all go together. So when you play music, check this out now, a good test of the speaker. You can have local or resource library. This is something new too. We got another level of advanced crossover integration. This is sort of like going into Spotify maybe, YouTube music maybe, but it's a place where you can actually download music to your watch from a server like you would watch faces. But let's go to local. Here's a variety of different songs. I can pick one and play it. And you should be able to hear it there. Turn the volume up. There you go. You can change sequential or looping. You can set it up for Bluetooth headset if you want to. You can switch to the next song. You hear that coming out? Now, if you're into learning foreign languages and such, and they have some stuff in here called tests, you can listen to these. Even when the watch times out, it'll still play in the background. I can double tap the watch to bring it up. I can come back here now to the resource library. It's going off to the server now and getting you listings of different music that's available. And so this is a huge potential if they populate this with a lot of good stuff that you'd like to listen to, right? Some is in Chinese, some is in English. Let's take one, and it should start playing. There you go. Now, I don't see a download button per se, so I guess you're playing it off of the server here. And if I go to the next one, I think that's our basic music. Or is it? Maybe it is. It's in the resource library. A lot of fun stuff to learn here. We got to get back in here and make sure we're paused so we can leave this. But that's the quick look at the music player for local and resource library information. And that was available when you swipe through here. The breath training is something simple. You activate it, calm down. It's vibrating now as it inhales. Oh, that's a long inhale. And now it's stopped vibrating as you exhale. Pretty graphics. And inhale again. So you can close your eyes and monitor this one just through the vibration on your arm. What I don't see are settings for changing the rate or the length of time or any of that with the breath training, but it's a basic app. You, of course, can download third-party apps that do this even better if you want to. Let's take us back to the beginning and then take a look at the installed apps on this one. We tap the button, and here we go. We've got them all. You've got your fitness, which we already looked at, and when you activate one of these, you can set targets. It'll try to acquire GPS. Once it's got it the first time, it tends to open up quicker in future times. So before you even start using it, take some time to go outside, get calibrated, get settled, and make sure you've got your GPS connected. Your sports record is where you have your step count information. And here we are again with the same record that we got to by tapping in the middle of the card we went through. Here's our Bluetooth phone calling. Now, I'm going to come in here. I have recent calls here. And here is a call. I just placed to test this out to Apple, since this is their looking watch. Here we go. We're tying into the phone. It's making a Bluetooth call to Apple. And
Apple support. Para español, oprima 9. Calls are recorded for evaluation to train personnel and improve contact center technologies.
so you're getting the Apple computer system at Apple, and it's going tick, 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 tick for you to talk to an AI that'll route your call to whatever department you need, and you can do that right from your wrist as long as you have your phone with you and as long as you've set up Bluetooth calling pairing. Now, there have been some questions and concerns about the clarity of the calls for Bluetooth, but I'm having good results so far with it. It's clean, it's clear. I got to do some more testing with that. But the guys, again, at fullandroidwatch.org are on top of all of that and working directly with DTNo.1 to improve the overall Bluetooth calling capability, which is really, really nice that they're doing that. Okay, we are back over here. We've done phone. Heart rate you saw already, but you also, we saw blood oxygen. You do have blood pressure. It doesn't appear as one of the cards. It uses the green diode technology, and very similar, you're going to get a systolic, diastolic reading if you wait long enough for your blood pressure reading. You have, I'll come back to sleep because I want to show you also have a thermometer in this one. When you're wearing it, and you need to wear it a long time on your arm, at least 10 minutes, for it to stabilize, to be able to get your temperature. So what we're showing may or may not be close to what it actually is. It'll accumulate these according to the time when you take them. It's not continuous. You have to actually activate each of these as well. This is wild. Here's blood sugar. And wear a watch, comfortable, and let it do its diode things, supposedly, and it will actually measure your blood sugar. I don't trust it any further than I could throw this watch, and I don't think it's hardened for me to throw it very far. So really use your judgment when it comes to things like blood sugar that may be critical if you're using insulin or whatever. Don't trust it. Play with it, compare it with your blood pricking, monitoring, and if you can find that they're compatible and throughout the day and night, and you can trust it, that's fine for you. But I really would be very cautious on that one. Last night's sleep now should be giving me my data on here. Uh-oh. Darn, I had a whole bunch of sleep on it. Now, wait a minute. If I come back over here, come back here, swipe up, come down. Sure enough, there it says 10 hours, 45 minutes of sleep. Now, when I first did this morning, it said 0. When I tapped on it, it took me over here, and that's where it had that information and pages and pages and pages more. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't have to post this right away, so if I can sleep with it another night, I'll just put right now the segment that shows the sleep information from a future night. Here you go, 10 hours, 27 minutes. Here's the breakdown. There's the chart. It shows no awake time, but some light and deep sleep. I don't know what happened. Well, let's continue. We did temperature. We did blood sugar. Breath training we've done. Okay, you got contacts, you got weather. That's the screen that we looked at here. And it doesn't give you any more. Yes, it does. It does. Now that we're in it, you see the little star thing here, a little dot. Failed to obtain local information. Well, it's got an archive of what it had before. And there's forecast information for the next upcoming days. So your weather information is a little more robust when you actually use the app. The compass now, you saw the compass watch face that we were using. This compass now is the actual built-in compass. And after you do this figure 8 calibration thing, which you pretty much want to do anytime you think you might want to be using the compass for your watch, after a while, it'll settle down and give you the actual watch face. So I'm sitting in the north. Due south is straight ahead. Coming over here, we're looking to the east. You've got the actual measurement and then the basic direction. If I come over here and tap it, anything happen? No, just basic compass then, with the time of day on here. And of course now, calibrated with the watch face, the compass should work perfectly as well in this particular watch face. South is right over here, pretty much right on. Now you notice up here, this little one is twirling with it too. It's showing where you're pointing, and if you touch it, does anything happen? No, it doesn't look like it. So it's showing you your direction, and you're getting a direction in the middle here too. And look over here on the sides. It's showing you the actual direction here, and it's showing you 0 there. If any of you guys know how to use this, if there's some things you can do to like get waypoints and help you figure out your directions overall, let us know. Because I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Anyway, that's the overall compass. Then you've got a little voice recorder in here. Nothing to really write home about, but we start recording. Now we're recording. We're going to check out how the audio works with the built-in audio recorder. I can pause it, which I've done right now, and I could pick it back up again like this. And of course, if we export these files, you can play them on your computer or wherever you'd like. There's no direct stop button. You have to pause it. Then you can either throw it away or you can save it. When you save it, you're asked to confirm it, all right? And now it's been saved. So when we tap on it, no, I don't want to do that. I want to actually get to it. Confirm we're throwing that one away. All right, you slide up. There's our file in the WAV format, and here's what it sounds like.
Recording, we're going to check out how the audio works with the built-in audio recorder. And of course, if we export these files, you can play them on your computer or wherever you'd like.
So you saw when I paused it, I kept talking, and it cut that portion of it out as well. Not really loud on the watch, but again, it should be fine when you export it to another device if you want to play it louder. Gallery for your overall pictures and whatnot, the dial market. Now this goes off to a server that has different watch faces on it. You also can get to these same faces in the app itself. And some of the faces I have installed in here, I've already downloaded from the dial market. Good news, guys, if you do custom design watch faces for the old Android watches that use the clock skin folder type arrangement, they work in here. Remember where we are, dial market. Let's deviate for a second and come back over here to your watch faces. Check them out. These are the stock watch faces. Here's one with some bubbles in it. You can pop the bubbles and play with it. You've got others like basic watch face that's pulsing. Okay. Nice. You can change the background that way. So they've gotten creative on animation and whatnot. The typical Apple one. Here's another one with clock in it. You can do pictures and so forth. The Snoopy, the butterfly. All of these are faces we've seen on many other watches. Here's some I've installed. You've got, if you want, just a nice big double-digit time, if time is important to you. Here's another one that looks like an old Casio type of a watch. Some more in here. Yeah, these I believe are stock ones. When you start seeing the trash can appear, that means those are from the store, and you can throw them away if you want to. These now are some that I have in my portfolio of custom design watch faces, made, of course, for a round Android watch, but nonetheless, some pretty nice looking ones. Here's this awesome cube, and it does work right here on this one, where you have your hour, minutes, and seconds. Now, one thing that's different between the clock engine, I'm getting a little technical with you, on this one that is different than other watches, is you'll notice that the second hand is ticking. And the code for writing the second hand movement is for smooth. And those guys who got creative and used the smooth moving hand, for example, to make gears turn on some faces that they've done that, now the gears jump. They don't work right. So there's been some modification there. But when you go all the way to the end of all of your installed apps, and I've got tons of them in here that I've been playing with. Oh yeah, you remember the surfer one? Really like that one. And it's designed now to scale to the whole screen. So you can have the repeating, looping surfer. Looks like it's an infinite wavies going on. But I digress. I know you guys need to move on, so I want to take you to the very, very end, way down here, where you can add more dials. And when you hit that check mark, look, you're right back into the same place you were at. You pick out where you'd like to go. You pick out the dial you'd like. You hit download. Oh, that's a paid watch face. Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't realize that. Here's some other ones that you find a free one. Is that free? Looks like it's free. Okay. And it'll twirl around, download it to the watch, and now you've added it to the end of your sequence of watch faces. Has a check mark there. So when we bail out of here and add it, there you go. And that's the active watch face. Where were we? We were, oh yes, I can twirl it. We were way down here in Dial Market. Then you got your File Manager. This, of course, is where you can go in and monitor all of your different things on the watch by their categories. When you hit File, you get in access to everything in your storage there. And that's how you would get to where your APKs are if you want to install side-loaded apps into the device. Music, alarm clock we played with. There is ChatGPT here. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. No, it's activated the phone over there again, and I mapped it to be the Google response. So it's not truly ChatGPT. It is a analog of asking your phone whatever you want, depending on what you set it up for within the app. Got a basic calculator, and again, you can download third-party apps of scientific calculators, anything you want, timers. The calendar is an issue. You got this basic calendar, and it kind of overrides the word calendar, so when you try to install the Google Calendar, you get a conflict. Your overall message management, these are the different message apps that you could use. And you can sign in and activate them, and other will take you to anything else you already have on your phone to be your message agent. Settings, a basic browser, the Google Play Store is here, and of course it goes into your own account, and you can download or update the apps or whatever you'd like to do through Google Play. Word of warning, when you first get this thing, the Google Play Store is way, way outdated. It takes a long, long time to update it. And the ironic thing is, once you set it up on Wi-Fi, if you have it on the charger, it turns Wi-Fi off. So charge your watch, and then take it off of the charger and set up Wi-Fi and let it update the necessary Google apps in the background. And by long time, I'm talking it might take hours. So don't dismay. You will eventually get use of the Play Store. I know they're working to figure that out to make it faster and easier, but they haven't yet. And then Google Maps is built into this one too. Now, in terms of apps that I've installed that display brightness, you've seen that one, and that gives me that little slider, which I think is off now. Yeah, you see I can't do it, which is why I set it up so I could get to it quickly on the side. Oh no, they're integrated in here. I downloaded TuneIn Radio, works nicely. An altitude barometer is in here. This is a stock app in here. It shows you the pressure, and that's it. Nope. It shows you your altitude. Wow, in feet, 7,000 feet. I guess I'm just a little bit, 113 meters, that times 300 and some odd feet. I think that's about right. A little bit above sea level. So it's giving you these readings with a stock app. The App Store itself now is not the Google Play Store, but this is select apps that are available for download. Facebook. Okay, all of these. Not sure what they are. I'd be leery of downloading them because they didn't come through the Google Play Store, and therefore they haven't been checked for possible malware. But it is available as an app store. Mobile Assistant. This is, wow, you can have a remote shutter so you can work with the phone to take pictures. And let's see if the phone is going to light up over here. I might have to get back into the app, open the app. I'm just wondering if it actually transmits the okay, it's not sending the picture to the watch, which is what I was hoping it would do. It's just basically giving you a picture, and you can take a picture by clicking the shutter. I guess it's doing it. And then you can take a photo now or put in countdowns, so you can use it as a remote trigger for the phone. But you're not getting a nice Bluetooth picture back of what the phone is seeing, which would be so cool, and it should be doable on Android. If you guys know of a third-party app we could put in here that handles Bluetooth remote camera work, let us know, and we'll try to add that into the show notes, because that should be easy to do. I've seen that before working with phones. I keep pushing the bottom button, but that brings this up. To get out of here, I have to push the top button. Motion sensing games. I haven't played with any of this. I'm not much of a gamer, but you have these different games you can buy, and they encourage you to move. And when you do, you're literally playing the game. So that's a really nice suggestion in trying to help you in your workouts. Casual games and so forth. It's a whole new area to discover, and I'm not going to cover it, but just let you know that it's basically there. That's motion sensing games. You got a basic stopwatch in here in an analog format. And this is the one now that has a smooth moving hand. It's not ticking in seconds. And I guess that's good, because you're getting readings down to the hundredths of a second here. When it's running and you leave the app, we want to check and see if it's going to run in the background. So we go into, well, let's just check it now. It's been long enough, because Watch Butler might mess with it. Nope, it reset it, so it does not run in the background. There are stopwatches that do in Android that you can download through the Google Play Store. Watch Butler now is a thing that's supposed to help you reduce the load on your watch, and it also is one of the culprits in shutting down apps you want to be running in the background. That I don't understand a lot. The folks at fullandroidwatch.org have been messing around with it and trying to get that working in our favor. If we have information, I'll put a link to their site where you can go into the Watch Butler information. Same thing with clearing acceleration. It cleans out your overall memory. We'll do it right now. One-click cleaning to optimize everything. And it's clearing out the background apps, and it's done. So obviously now my display brightness wouldn't be working. There's a whistle, which is like an emergency thing, and it makes a sound on here, and you can place an emergency call. I'm not going to mess with that either. This I installed at Speech Notes, and it's a fun little app that will work with Google and the voice recognition so that you can start dictating, and I can just simply talk and it will dictate whatever I'm saying. Once it's started, you can see the audio down there. You can see the translation or the dictation showing up here on the screen. When I pause, it stops, or it can continue, and you can then export that or do something with it. That's a third-party app, and it's really fun to be able to do that on the watch like this. So we'll just bail out of here and bail out of here. Anyway, Speech Notes. Breathing Zone, easy voice recorder, really nice recorder, because you can change the gain control of your sensitivity of your microphone. Gboard, the keyboard that I've installed now to try to override the system keyboard on here. And then there's Settings Search, which is something, a third-party thing you can install to get deeper access to a lot of the settings on the watches. We're not going to get too technical here, but you do have access to this, including accessibility, which you normally don't. And in here, you can mess around with different things, font size, display size. This is your magnification, so you can turn that on with the triple tap. If you don't like working with a watch that's too small, or you can set it up with a button, I guess. I'm going to bail out of here now. I'm going to triple tap, and you see I can magnify what's on the screen. So if you're having trouble reading things, that's something worthy of getting into. It's in accessibility, and I don't believe we have that directly in the settings on the watch, so you have to work your way around it. Okay, setting search. Another speech talking thing, a weather app that's from Yahoo. It gives you your current location. If it hasn't picked that up yet, it's just like that, but you slide over, shows you San Francisco's weather, New York, and any place else in the world that you want to put there. It'll give you basic information together with forecasts. And so this is a robust addition. Wow, it shows you right there on a map where it's getting the information from. It's a Yahoo weather. I keep pushing that bottom button. And back here to the very bottom. I don't really want to go through all of my separate apps, but Organized Drawer is worthy of installing. Again, that gives you this listing. If you have display brightness, it's in the D, so it's not too far down. And now, whenever I mess around with it, I'll have my brightness control slider right there. Wow, we've covered a lot with the watch. It's about time we jump over and take a quick look. I'm going to try to make it quick of the app. And for a change of pace, I've changed the bands. Here's what this other one looks like. You open it all the way up so you can slide it over your hand. And then you simply pull the tab and get it nice and snug and figure out which hole you want to slide it through. And now you've got a different look. Pretty slick. Alrighty, Wearpro is the app that we're going to be working with. This is what it looks like in the Google Play Store. That's the icon you're looking for to download it. When you do, and you set it all up, and you go to device, and you pair the device, usually scanning the QR code, you'll land into the first page, which is called Health. Now, this is where things are getting weird. I showed you my step count information earlier, and all of a sudden, it's completely missing, both on the watch and the app, even though it had transferred over. So I got some gremlins going on. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I go into activity, and there's absolutely no data. None whatsoever. But there should be step count and so forth. So if you want to see what the data looks like, look at any of my past reviews where I've used Watch Pro as the paired app, and you'll see what it looks like basically. Engineering records. If you have any, if you want to do an outdoor run or run a course or whatever, you can set up an exercise now with all of that. That's usually the second tab over here. It's an insert here. You have ads that are now inserted all through here, and there's an ad when you first open it too. So it's getting heavy ad influenced, which I don't really like that much. A health report, manually generated. You can go through that. That's a whole different discussion. You can put in your own weight. It doesn't compute that. Here's last night's sleep time. Now, I told you about not having the data. Well, here it is. This is last night's data, the original one that I tried to find by going into the sleep area on here, right? Which was not here. We had to actually go into the apps themselves and down to sleep. And yeah, nothing. Nothing. It's all been moved off of the watch for some reason, but it does appear in the app after it's synchronized. Took away my steps though. I don't know. I'm just showing you how it is. You touch these things, it'll show you the zone that you're in and what that little square is and when it happened. Your sleep quality score, duration, and percentages, which is pretty nice. And of course you can do weekly, monthly, and over the year. That's all in sleep. Heart rate, you can set it up for continuous heart rate. I'm getting little ups and downs because I've had the watch on and off, and you can get incremental ones. That's what the dots are. I have continuous heart rate turned on at this point. Then you have blood pressure. These are one-time measurements that you take, systolic, diastolic, blood oxygen. I've had a couple of ratings in here. It had an erroneous one, dropped all the way down to 82, which obviously wasn't right, but the most recent ones have been accurate. And ladies, you can set up your menstrual cycle tracking in here with your basic length of the cycle, length of the period, and the date that you start. and you can track all of that. Although I haven't seen it on the watch where you can call it up on the watch, but you can find it here in the app. Editing the cards lets you take these away or rearrange them any which way you want to. Exercise Now gives you some training activity things that you can do. Lots of different courses you can run through. So that's an option you can go into. Discover lets you look at more of their products. That's fun. Okay. Not sure where we are now. 7-day healing plan, sleep aid, breathing, white noise. Again, more things similar to the exercise, but more focused, it appears. And then device. This is where we are. This is the device itself. Here's different things. You set it up for the incoming phone calls and SMS, app notifications if you want to, and Bluetooth calling are all optional here. There's your watch faces. Now, this is just what we saw when we went into the watch itself, but now you can actually see them a lot better, and you can transfer them over from directly inside the phone to the watch. So, yeah, some of these are already in there. I recognize that one and that other one. Here's a little digital-looking one, and it's free, and you can say install. Now, the nice thing about this is there's plenty of memory in here, of course, in your watch. So installing as many watch faces as you like is really easy to do. And there's that one that we just installed. And now that becomes part of the overall portfolio. Press and hold, and I can go through and you can find all the other different faces that you've put in there too. Choose whichever one suits your fancy. And there you're ready to go out on the town at night, right? Okay, that's watch faces. What else have I got quickly to show you here? That's the dial market. There's the sensory games. We looked at some of those on the watch. Haven't gone into detail, but this is where, again, you can use the 6-axis sensor inside the watch to work with games. And that's a great idea. It helps you get fitness and have fun at the same time. That's built into here too. You can turn on and off all of these things, app notifications, your network connection for your Bluetooth. This is where you set it up directly from the app. If you're paired Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connected to your watch, you can set your Wi-Fi router password and information in here, and then the watch will be paired directly to Wi-Fi. Here you can find your watch. You can set up that remote camera we saw. And, of course, the Bluetooth call. It says answer the call here, but you can make outgoing calls as too. Twist your wrist to see the time. Here's your 24-hour heart rate monitoring. And you can update the firmware if necessary. Finally is me. And basic stuff in here about you and your stuff that you're going to input for yourself too. So overall, that's the app. We got a little bit more on the watch before I let you go. And this is a walkthrough of the settings on the watch. The Android 8.1 settings has your name and information right there. Your language setup is there. Then you have some general stuff, which is about you, about the watch, I guess. Let's see. It says it's the legal information. The model number is right there. There's the IMEI number, which doesn't apply because we don't have a direct SIM card in here. Android version 9.1, it says. Really interesting. Okay. I thought it was an Android 8. Well, it says Android 9.1. Audio Bluetooth name, that's what it's seen when you're setting it up for Bluetooth calling and connecting it in your phone. The MAC address and Wi-Fi and all this stuff. And your build number. Now, a lot of times you can tap. I got triple tap on, so that doesn't work. But if you tap slowly, you can go into developer mode, and you see I'm getting close. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm officially a developer. So we do have access to developer mode on this particular watch. There's your system upgrade. It'll check to see if you have any updates. You definitely want to do that. It says I'm already up to date. If you have an upgrade and you haven't really installed a whole lot of stuff on your device yet, you might want to do a a complete factory restore after that. It helps make sure everything runs smoothly. You've got your battery information here. You can turn on the battery saver mode, and battery management's available. And again, some of this stuff will cause apps that run in the background to stop. There's your factory reset, shut down and restart, SOS. And your overall storage space should be 16 gigabytes. Total RAM is 2 gigabytes. All right, so this lets you clean your RAM. We already did that one time. Now it's cleaning it up again, and it's completed. And we're back where we were, and I didn't see anything change, but that messes around with your storage space. That's in general. You can do your Wi-Fi configuration and Bluetooth right there. Satellite positioning. When you turn this on, it shows you which of your apps will be using your GPS, and you can see all of them as well. Your mode switching now. This is the one where you can change from Android mode to Bluetooth mode. And that's that icon, I believe, when you pull down that looks like Android. We'll play with that at the very end. This gives you your long endurance stuff for saving your battery. And, of course, Android mode is when we're in the full Android like we are right now. Display and brightness. Here's where you can control it manually if you don't have display brightness installed. Twist your wrist to see the time. Your screen brightness setting is as low as 8 seconds and up to 20 seconds, which is very short, really. Lifting wrist style. When you turn this on or off, it affects this. You'll see the dial style. So follow the main dial, or you can have a pointer table or a digital table. Now, to me, that sounds like that should be always on mode. So when the watch times out, it would bring up a watch face that would run in the background. I haven't seen that working properly yet, so I'm not sure. We'll try that in just a second. That's display and brightness, sound and touch. This is where you can turn on Do Not Disturb, shock. Ouch. Ouch. I don't know what that is. Call volume, media volume. They haven't even been up all the way while we've been doing our tests. There you go. Ringer volume and alarm volume. You can do these other things, typical Android stuff. Then you've got your left key customization. Shows you all the things you can program it for. And you can program it for third-party apps that you put in yourself, like the optimized drawer, which is what I've got it set for. Organized drawer. I always call it optimized drawer because it optimizes the apps in alphabetical order. But they're organized that way. Connect to a new phone. That's if you're going to leave the Tethering app. Here's your app view. You can have grid view or list view. We've shown you all of this stuff in list. You can lock the screen. There's the 3D style of switching that you go through all your stuff. They'll change the layout, application notifications, and then your actual system here where you have the keyboard input. And I've got Android keyboard as the input that I've chosen, and I've set up the Google keyboard to be in here as well. Its default when you get it is something funky. I don't even see it here. Manage keyboards. It's this thing, this Sogu. So if you don't like that, you can work on trying to install other keyboards. It's an Android device, so you should be able to do that. Spell checker, your date and time, your reset options, and then your developer options. Now that we just went in and activated the developer option or capability, these are different things that you've got access to now, which is pretty cool. A lot more stuff you can do in here. And with that settings search app, you can also use that to enable some deeper stuff that you normally can't get to. So those of you who are hackers of this kind of stuff and know a lot about Android, yeah, you've got all of your developer access information, apparently for Android 9 on this particular device. It just keeps going. Okay, that's system. That's all in settings, and that's it. So I let the watch time out. It didn't go into any always on. I can double tap to turn it on. I can cover it to turn it off. I can wait it out. I can twist my wrist to light it up, supposedly. I don't have it on my wrist, so it's not sensing it correctly. Oh, there we go. Okay, when it's off, when you twist your wrist, it'll light up the always on instead of bringing it back to the full on. Huh. Okay, so you'll just get a glance of time with the twist your wrist. When you activate that, if you double tap, you actually bring the whole thing back. And then there was this. When we get back here and we tap this, we change it from the full-on Android mode to enabling the Bluetooth mode. And as I understand it, this just lets it set up and be Bluetooth connected to your phone, turns off Wi-Fi, turns off GPS, and gives you a low power capability on here. So when I come over here, I still see all of these things. And when I tap here, I see a subset of all of my apps. Okay. And supposedly all of these will work. But notice my custom apps that I put in are missing. There and there. All of these things are here. When you cover the thing, it will, let's get back to watch face. It will turn it off. When you double tap, it'll turn it back on. So you still have a lot of the features in the Bluetooth mode. It's just the heavy power usage ones are being suppressed right now. So tap here to come back, tap here, and we can come back into full Android mode. I think we covered just about all of it, don't you? Wow, these Android ones take a long, long time. Appreciate you being here, and really appreciate if you're interested in one of these, of using the links we've got for you to pick them up down in the show notes. As things change, we may add a few more if I can. Good pricing already. Right now there's a special 15% discount code available. So again, check the show notes and head on over if you want to pick this one up. It's the DTNo.1 DT Ultra 2, updated from the original that never even hit the market. And big shout out to the folks at fullandroidwatch.org. If you get any kind of a chance to support them, please do, because they're the ones that were responsible for a lot of the improvements that DT implemented to upgrade this puppy. One of the big ones being changing from a magnetic induction type of a charging puck to the one that has the 4 pins on it. That'll give you direct power for faster charging and the other 2 for data transfer, so you can really use it as an Android watch / phone. So thank you guys. Thank you for your hard efforts in the background there. We really appreciate it. That's it. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.